Why, hello and welcome. This is going to be a Flosstube channel that I have wanted to start for many, many years, and now I'm going to do it. My name is Sally, and the name of the channel I chose was Sally Stitches and that's because even though this is going to mostly be about cross stitch, I have a lot of other things that I like to do too. I like to read, I like to quilt, I like to knit and crochet. I also like to collect vintage, and I like hanging out with this cat right here. This is Audrey, my best bud. So while this channel will mostly be about cross stitching, I will occasionally talk about other things, but primarily we're gonna stick with the cross stitch. So let's start with a little bit about myself. I thought I would title this first video, Sally Stitches and introduces herself. So my name is Sally. I live in the middle of Michigan. Let me do this. I live right there. So if this is the Lower Peninsula, that is a Michigan thing. And so you are officially, yeah. So I have a husband, Mike, and then I have two kids, Katie, who is in high school, and Nathan, who is going to start middle school next fall. And I mostly do things for my family. My son, Nathan, is autistic and non-speaking. And so, a lot of my day-to-day time, is kind of related to, just rehab and other things that, are part of his support system. And I could probably do a whole Flosstube on that, except, I don't know, it's so individual, you probably don't care. But that takes up a lot of my time. And then the rest of my time, I like to keep with the stitching. So I thought I'd start today by showing you a couple things I got at the 2024 Nashville Needlework Market. Say that 3 times fast, huh? So I only bought a couple things ahead of time, and then this last weekend I had the opportunity to go to kind of a mini retreat with some friends. You might follow some of them. One of them is Sarah from Sarah's Stitchery on Flosstube. You should check her out. She's got a great one. And then another friend is Alli Z, and her Flosstube channel is Alli Z is Crafty. And then I had other friends too that were there, and we all, because we came from different parts of the Midwest and even as far away as Pennsylvania and Maryland, we all decided to meet centrally at an Airbnb we rented in Columbus, Ohio. And it was great. There was a wonderful local needlework shop called Cross My Heart, which was only about a mile away from our Airbnb, and we had a blast. It was like the best retreat I've ever been, of the 5 retreats I've been to my whole life. So anyway, some of the stuff I bought ahead of time, but some of them I bought at this needlework shop. So here's the first one I bought ahead of time. This is a design by Hands On Design. It's called Spring Folk, and you can see it's like a long panel with some spring themes and like a sampler with the alphabet. And I got this because last year I went to a retreat in Williamston, Michigan, that was hosted by Chantel's 141. It's called the 141 Pep Rally. And Hands On Design was the featured designer, and we made this. So this is Autumn Folk. And so you can see that we have a very similar thing happening here, because this board, which is very cool, it's got a cool wood-burned motif on it. This board and this cross stitch piece are held together by magnets on the back side of the board. And so what that means is I can do one of my very favorite things, which is use these for seasonal decorations. I love seasonal decorating, and I use a lot of cross stitch pieces for those. So I got this, and I'm in the process of kitting it up. The fabric that's used for this design is a 32 count driftwood, which is dyed by Fabrics by Stephanie. And guess what? She's from Michigan too. So I ordered my fabric, and it shipped yesterday, and I'm gonna get it today because I guess we only live about an hour and 15 minutes apart. So isn't that fun? So the other pattern that I bought ahead of my retreat is by Heart and Hand, and it is Frosty Tiny Town. I like these tiny towns. I've collected a lot of them, but I've only stitched one, and that is the Big Hearted Tiny Town, which is the Valentine's Day themed one. They also have like a summer themed one, an autumn, like if you're not into Halloween ones, a Christmas one, and then they also have these. And this is one I bought last year, and I didn't realize that they were gonna make a sequel pattern. So this is Any Town, Tiny Town, and this is fun because this was an exclusive from a local needlework shop called Keepsakes, which is based kind of near Cincinnati, Ohio, and that's where StitchCon is usually hosted. So I bought this online from Keepsakes' website, and then this year they came up with, whoops, upside down, more Anytown Tiny Town. So look, you could have like this giant tiny town. And that's exactly how I'm going to stitch it. I'm going to find either one really long strip of fabric or two, and I'm going to stitch them together. And I'm going to stitch this, and then I'm going to put them together right in the middle. And then instead of making one of these little drums, which is how I finished Big Hearted Tiny Town, I'm going to make a mega drum. So a drum that has a wider circumference. And then it'll be cute because then I can kind of do like a layer cake tiered thing with my Tiny Town drums. So speaking of Tiny Towns, while I was at the needlework shop, I already had this pattern. This is Seaside Tiny Town, and it's kind of summer themed. And so when I was at Cross My Heart, I decided to treat myself to the flosses. These are all over dyed by Classic Colorworks. I think there's one that's a Weeks Dye Works in here. But I usually try to use the floss that I have on hand. But since we were at a retreat, I was like, let's go big. Let's, you know, have some fun. So the other pattern I bought from my retreat was this one. This is called Beachcomer by Lindy Stitches. And I got some glare. I should have taken it out of the packaging. There we go. So there's a big whale, and then a saying, and then lots of little seaside motifs. And I ended up getting this, which is a Threadworks. This is a substitution because they didn't have this Dinky Dyes floss that makes this whale, but I think this is gonna look really nice for this whale. So I have one special floss for this pattern. And then this white color is the same color that's in that other Seaside Tiny Town. And so I'm just gonna use that floss for both. And that's kind of fun. It's like get the last drop out of your floss, which is fun. And this is the last pattern I did, and this is another seasonal pattern. This is Christmas Terrarium, and this is by Tiny Modernist. I don't believe this is a new pattern. I just really like terrariums, and I think it's really cute. I think that if I wanted to, I could, you know, maybe do something different, like some stars or other things instead of the Santa, and make it kind of more of a generic winter tiny town. You know, we'll see. The Santa's pretty cute, but. So those are some new patterns that I got at the retreat. And I know you're thinking right away, did you actually stitch? And I did. I started a pattern, and this is another seasonal pattern. I'm gonna pull it out here. I don't have a photo of the pattern, but these are ornaments that were designed by Tiny Modernist, and they're 12 Days of Christmas. And instead of stitching them separately into little round ornaments, I decided that I want to stitch them in like a 3x4 grid. And so I have to do a little arranging. I had to cut and paste my pattern so that they would, you know, be laid out correctly. But I have Partridge in a Pear Tree right here. And then this is going to be 2 turtle doves, 3 French hens, and then this is 4 calling birds, 5 golden rings, 6 geese a-laying, and then I don't remember the rest of the song, but I'll stitch it eventually. So do you guys like to do seasonal patterns? If you get a chance and you want to drop a comment, I would love to know, what's your favorite season to stitch? So, well, that's all I have for today. I am just kind of experimenting. I didn't know if my cat would knock my tripod over. She did not, which is good. But I want to know, what are some hobbies besides cross-stitching that you like to do? You know, sound off in the comments below. And we'll see you next time. Take care, friends. Bye.